Good morning, sports fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of High School Sports here on your high school sports leader, Oregon Sports Beat. Today, from the rugby fields at Western Oregon University in Monmouth, we have the club rugby championships and the high school varsity rugby championships. We've already completed the girls club championship just a few minutes ago, and that was won by the Lynn Benton Lady Lions, and I believe mostly made up of students from West Albany.
Yes.
All right, and they beat Valley Panthers. Valley made up primarily of students from McMinnville. The final score in that game was 39-35. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, we have the boys club championship, and that'll be the Valley Rams against the the Beaver. You know, I like the name so much, and I'm embarrassed that I forgot it. It's the Beaverton Barbarians. The interesting thing about these two teams, and we're going to have the national anthem, so we'll do that, and then we'll come right back. All right, our national anthem. As I said, we're getting ready to start boys action here, the boys club championship. This is the Beaverton
Barbarians.
Beaverton Barbarians, sorry, and the Valley Rams. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Hall. We're here for 4 games today. This is the second. My broadcast partner doing the expert analysis today, Joe Alvarez. And Joe, a great game last game, but this is 2 undefeated teams, both these teams 7-0, playing for the championship. We got a barn burner coming up.
Yeah, and I think we had 2 teams that play a very similar style of play. They want to control the breakdown, which means the point of tackle. We have a ruck that forms after that. They're going to try to maintain possession or turn over possession. We expect a lot of pressure under all of these, and on top of that, defense. Defense is the name of the game for the Barbarians here. Full season, 3 tries given up the whole year. Only 3 teams have scored. You had the 1 extra point that was good. 17 points scored against them this entire year. I think the story of the day really is, can Valley produce offense? We will be fairly certain that Beaverton packed their defense and their mouth guards and their boots. They're ready to go.
You know, these 2 teams, you mentioned how they play. They look alike. These 2 teams also look alike. I've never did a game where the teams had uniforms that were more similar to each other. Beaverton, of course, the black and the orange, and Valley, of course, black and red.
Yeah, it's going to make it tough for us here.
All right, there's the kick to start the game.
Now, as we're getting started here, if you're just watching rugby for the first time, maybe you have a friend of the family or a friend playing this match, just keep in mind, think of it in some ways, it's just like football. These teams are trying to run the ball down the field, get it into the end zone, score a touchdown, a try, but it literally has to be touchdown to score. And again, defenses, they're going to try to tackle. The only big difference is after that tackle, there's not going to be a whistle. We won't stop play. It's just going to keep moving and moving. The contest is very fluid.
2 35-minute halves. You can see Beaverton in front of us here. They are in the black and the orange traditional colors for not only the Beaverton Beavers, but Joe's alma mater, the Oregon State Beavers.
Go Beavs.
And Valley Rams, red. Black and red.
Well, not every team. I always believe in having two sets of jerseys just in case. Not every team does that. These guys are going to stick with their main jerseys. And, hey, if the ref can handle it, I guess we can too.
3 ways to score in a rugby match. To score crossing the goal line, that's a 4-point try. And you get, a 5-point try. You got to put the ball down on the ground, though, for that to be complete. Once you do that, then you need to get a conversion. That's a 2-point attempt. You can kick that, either kick it off a tee or drop kick it, and then a field kick, which is worth 3. We didn't have any of those in the last game.
No, the last match, we waited about 60 minutes before we had our first line out. Here we are less than 2 minutes in. We've had a line out, a scrum. We've seen it all. We've also seen a lot of physicality going on at these breakdowns. It's quite a crowd lined up behind us here, David. We call this Tightwad Hill, I guess, Cheapskate Hill. No one's paying for admission anyways, but they've got a good view from their vantage point in these bleachers behind us.
All right, Ryan Johnson on the camera now. There's a scrum across from us. You can see it. Beaverton is moving from our right to our left. That's them with the ball. Barbarians with the ball. The Rams bench is right in front of us. This is the 2017 Boys Club Championship. Both of these teams, they play in the High School Boys Club Championship League. Beaverton finished 7-0. Valley Rams finished 7-0. Interestingly enough, as Joe was saying, Beaverton only gave up 3 tries all season long. In fact, I think, what did you see, 17 points total? Yep. Pretty amazing stat for 7 games.
Plus a playoff shutout thrown in there too.
Now that was legal what you were doing right there, holding a player up.
Yes.
We did not see that in the girls' game, but
what we see here when a line out like that, we'll talk through it the next time we see it. We're not lifting that man, we're just supporting
all right.
his jump.
All right. We'll get all the jargon down here.
We got Nothman with a kick. See, another difference between the girls' game and the boys' match we're seeing now is with the girls at the penalties, they were taking a lot of running opportunities from it. You got a lot better kickers here at the boys' level. They're choosing to kick out of bounds, gaining all that territory, and putting it up for the line-out contest.
Joe, you played rugby at Oregon State.
Yes. We got our. It was a really good line out there. Quick ball out to the scrum half. He gets it out to Longy, who's really one of the leaders of this Beaverton team. And the referee Tuck sees something he didn't like there, though. A whistle. And we're going to come back.
The Beaverton Barbarians head coach Nathan Murray, the Valley Rams head coach Trevor Da Silva.
Trevor Da Silva has been coaching Valley for quite a few years. He fell in love with this sport after his father was a long-time rugby player and his assistant coach for quite a few years. He passed away on the off season this year, and it's really affected a lot of these boys, and they've dedicated this season to Pops Da Silva. This match, in their mind, is for him.
The players on the Rams have they've got wrist tape and shoes and stuff, and they've written his name on their shoes and their tape. Beaverton.
Oh, it's a big crashing. Oh, another whistle. Looks like we're going back for a penalty here against the Rams. They're going to be pushed back to their goal line for this. I would be surprised if we see a line out. They're going to go for. They're going to go right for the. Oh, they're going for points.
Watching the teams warming up, we were very impressed with number 18 for Beaverton. His name is Sion Lavamai.
Lavamai. Yeah, he's definitely a physical specimen here. He's had a couple of just crushing runs already. If you sort of compare the contact between a runner and a tackler as a brick in a window, I think whether he's a tackler or the runner, he's the brick.
He's the brick. And there's a kick.
And Nathman pulled that to the left a little bit. We're going to see a 22 restart.
Had that kick been good, that would have been 3 points.
Right.
Having given up so few points during the season, you would think that Beaverton would put a premium on points. Since they don't give up many, they need to get some.
Well, I'm certain that kicker and coach are wishing they had those 3 points on the scoreboard.
We're just underway. No score in this game. This is a boys' club championship. The Beaverton Barbarians, the Valley Rams.
Big chase by number 11 from Valley. Colby Wright, but not able to chase that guy down.
We actually have a pretty substantial sized crowd forming, and there are hills around here, and everybody's on the hills. They're behind us.
Some in front of us.
Some directly in front of us.
But we'll manage. Oh, we got Beaverton has just been relentless so far. So far in this match, they've had the territory, they've had the possession for 90% of it, and it's just pressure. Maybe that's their secret to a good defense. If the other team never has the ball, they'll never be able to score.
And we have not been down at the right end of the field here at all.
And Valley's given up another penalty here. Oh, it was a great grab.
Grabbed it right out of the air, one-handed. Are these teams from primarily any one school?
I think a majority of the Valley boys are going to be from McMinnville, but they draw from all the Yamhill County schools. And from what I've understood, Beaverton's actually fairly spread out within that school district. I think you have kids from Centennial and Beaverton itself, Aloha.
Mm-hmm. Still no score in this game.
But another penalty. And it's interesting, Beaverton early on went for points. This time, maybe not as confident in their kicker, but...
And there's the score.
They're confident in that.
Beaverton goes up 5-0. Conversion attempt coming up. Now I noticed while this conversion attempt's going on, I noticed Valley's trainer ran out in the field with some water and stuff. So obviously while the conversion is going on, you can do those things. The Beaverton players all came back to midfield.
Well, it's the Oregon winter seems to be over with, and while it's cloudy today, it's getting a little warm. And with a contest like this, any opportunity you get to get some water out there to the lads is going to be appreciated. I think that try, if I'm not mistaken, was Dakota Vasquez out there on the corner, and Nathman's lining up right now for the conversion. That conversion went pretty short of where he'd like it to be, but again, a tough call. That try was right there in the corner. He was starting his approach to that kick on the sideline, so a lot of distance, bad angle. It's a tough kick regardless.
Conversion not good, so with the try, that's 5 points, and the Barbarians lead this 5-0. I think I mentioned these teams were 7-0. They're both 8-0 with a playoff win, right?
Yes.
All right.
Again, Mr. Tuck making his whistle known. I think someone was in front of the kicker on that kick, and they're giving a scrum feed to Beaverton. Right now, this is not the beginning of this game is not really boding well for Valley. They've given up multiple penalties. We haven't seen the ball really possessed past midfield. They're going to have to make a real big change to their attack to make a difference in this match. But it's still early.
Scrum coming up here. 15 players aside for each of these teams. Here comes Beaverton with the ball again. Beaverton to the right side of the field.
There's Longy with a good run. Is he going to get in? And they're not going to stop him.
There's another try for Beaverton.
I think Mr. Nothman was going to be thanking him. Putting that down between the posts is going to be a much more favorable kicking opportunity for him.
Second try here for Beaverton. Conversion coming up.
What's really impressed me about Beaverton, you look at them, they passed the eyeball test. There's a lot of athletes out there, and they're definitely running the ball hard. But what's so much impressive to me is the passing. Not only is it good passing, it just looks effortless. They don't feel under pressure. They're not forcing it. They're just making real nice, easy passes to each other and just trying to take advantage of their positioning.
Can't comment on their defense so far because they haven't been on defense.
Yep.
Okay, I missed the conversion there. Was that good?
Also,
your vision was blocked on that?
Yeah, we're both blocked on it. I think, yes, that was a good one. So we're at 12-0.
Want to let you know this match is brought to you by Oregon Pioneer Rugby Club, a proud member of Rugby Oregon. Rugby Oregon offers summer camps for students in grades 3 through 8. Players will learn new skills, play games, and have lots of fun. Register today at rugbyoregon.com.
That was an excellent kickoff by the Rams there. We saw a lot of height on that. They wanted to challenge for this ball to try to generate some possession. They didn't get the ball, but they forced a poor handling of that ball. Knocked on. They get a scrum. They're going to have possession of the ball for the first time on their side of the field.
Exactly. First time they'll have the ball in this side of the field. There's this scrum. Can't touch the ball with your hand until the ball comes out.
And another whistle. Forward pass. I have to say right now, Valley does not want to hear that whistle anymore. Everything, almost every call that's been placed has put them in a worse position. If they could take the referee out through clean play, that's to their advantage.
Last game we actually did have a yellow card late in the game.
Yeah.
And that was for an accumulation of penalties?
Yeah, there was just enough offsides play from one team that the referee finally decided to punish them late in the match. Oh, here's looks like a holding on penalty against the Barbarians, and Valley, the Rams, are going to have a chance to ram this in. Oh!
Rock him!
There's going to be a penalty here. The Beaverton defensive counter ruck just got there quick and powerful, blew that ball open, but the ref, well, I guess the ref saw it eventually, followed by a knock-on by a Beaverton player. And we're going to have a scrum. No, sorry, the Valley player knocked that ball on, and Beaverton will get the scrum. Again, the whistle's not kind to Valley so far.
All right, the call there, Joe?
What happened there is the scrum is not allowed to turn. You want to keep this ball going, the scrum's pushing north and south. So if it turns, just to keep it from getting dangerous at any point, the ref will blow it down, and they're just going to restart here. The idea here is to have a nice, clean driving opportunity, north and south.
There's the kick.
A lot of height on that kick. He's going to have some defensive pressure. Oh, he misread that. Did recover it.
The Ram player looked like he wanted to make a catch, and the ball went over his head.
The kick's harder to read once gravity gets involved sometimes.
And unfortunately, the ball's not round. It's
No.
oval.
And you know, I'm not sure how used to turf either of these teams are. I get it because it plays differently than grass does. I think Beaverton definitely has more turf fields at their disposal in their part of the state to have practiced on, but not sure about De Silva's Rams team. It takes some getting used to. Oh, another cracker of a hit. There we go. That Beaverton's number 5 was going in there with a good counter ruck, and the Rams center just said, no, I don't have none of that. You get out of here.
That number 5 for Beaverton, that was Brett Starr, a senior.
Let's go Rams!
For first look, I thought it was Bart Starr.
They could use Bart Starr, just can't throw the ball forward.
Yeah. But he was a game management quarterback back then, right?
Right.
We're seeing some substitutions from both teams now. It looks, from the looks of these sidelines, deep rosters. Then they're going to use them. They're going to keep legs fresh and put pressure on all match long.
Looks like both teams have about 25 players on the field.
poorly thrown ball, but possession claimed by Beaverton, and they're attacking.
Barbarians lead in this game 12-0. Beaverton Barbarians, Valley Rams.
This is surprising. And a lot of teams that if they got a ball that close to the goal line, they'd kick, they'd punt that ball away to try to relieve pressure on themselves. Beaverton says, no, even if we're 5 yards out, we're going to work this ball down, we're going to score. They just want to strangle possession away.
After being in the one end of the field, we've now been in the other end of the field for a while. So Beaverton has not really moved forward here for a while.
Well, I think the feeling each other's out period is sort of past, and maybe we're going to see some even contest here for a while, hopefully for the rest of the match.
That the bang you heard a minute ago, Joe, that might have worried you, that's our crowd mic up there.
Oh, okay.
And somebody must have banged into it or knocked it over or something. There's another support on a leap. Have I got that right?
Yeah, the objective here in the lineup, sometimes if you look at, well, it's sort of a funny side. A lot of people don't realize that James Naismith had a rugby background before he invented basketball. So a lot of these things that you see on a field, and again, 100 years of rules changes have separated, but you can see a lot of things that are similar. The scrum here that we're seeing, that's similar to a jump ball where you're contesting there in the middle, and the line out, same as in basketball. The team in possession gets to throw the ball in to their own players. Difference here is if a guy jumps up for the ball, his teammates can help him, support him, give him a couple hands, keep him up in the air a little bit longer. And you're going to see we see these Beaverton side on a full lift. That kid will be a good 12, 13 feet up in the air when he catches that ball.
12-0 our score. Beaverton Barbarians lead the Valley Rams.
We're going to see another line out. They're using these penalty attempts to move the ball farther and farther down the field. Beaverton wants to keep possession. They want to keep moving closer and closer to the line. And so far, this strategy has worked very well for them. And again, we see the Rams using liberal use of the substitutions. 3 guys on, 3 guys off.
Here comes Beaverton forward again.
Garrett Sackley with a huge hit there. We're going back to a penalty. Apparently one of the Beaverton players went off their feet in that ruck. You have to maintain your balance on your feet. It's mostly, primarily it's a safety issue, but it also makes for a fair contest of the ball they're kicking out, and that does not go out. That was a big mistake for the Rams.
Nice catch and moving forward with the ball that time. For Beaverton, that was number 11, Cameron Fladger.
Looks like in the contact there, the defending player actually knocked the ball on, and we're seeing a scrum here. Back to Beaverton. Beaverton's strangling the possession away.
Number 14 for the Valley Rams off the field, and number 14, that is,
Where is it?
we've got a lot of numbers changed. There it is.
Isaac Tarrant.
Isaac Tarrant had blood streaming down the side of his face.
Yeah, any player that's bleeding, they automatically have to be subbed off. Well, they'll get him. I'm sure he'll get that cleaned up as quickly as possible and try to go back in.
Trainer working on him on the side. She's putting her gloves on.
We got no one wanting to be a spectator in this match.
Our score, Beaverton 12, Valley nothing. This is the boys Open Club Championship.
And we have another whistle.
We've had a lot of whistles, Joe.
I can't see a call yet from the referee, although they're pulling Longy aside for a chat. We have two refs conferring on this. And Peter Tuck's going to have a chat with the Valley captain.
What do you think this is about?
I'm not sure, but typically if he wants to have a chat with the captains, and they're both nearby, that means he's seen enough of something. Hasn't given the signal for what this penalty is for, but whatever it is, he's seen enough. Probably, maybe some of those breakdown shenanigans, people putting hands in the rock or diving in. We've seen a few penalties already for those things, and if it's something that's going to make the game less safe, they're going to have a talking to about it. So Beaverton's going to get this penalty, sending everyone back. But that's also it's an omen, Dave, that we're going to see maybe a yellow card here soon, if these transgressions keep going.
And when you get a yellow card, that means you play a man down.
Yes. Yeah, they call it the sin bin. You pay for your sins with 10 minutes off.
Beaverton. And there's a score.
That's Sackley again. The kid loves to run with the ball. He's surprisingly fast and agile, and every time he goes into contact, we talked about the brick in the window. Boy, that kid's a brick.
Number 8, and that is Garrett Sackley, senior. We're waiting for the conversion attempt, but the score now is 17-0 Beaverton.
Yeah, you look just up and down this roster, and you see almost every player 2, 3, 4 years experience. They're big, they're fast, they're experienced, and it's not just this Beaverton version. I was looking at the standings. This Beaverton team we're watching, undefeated. Their JV team, undefeated. Their middle school team, undefeated on the year. They're going to be, we can pencil them into a lot of these Final Fours and finals for quite a few more years.
Let's see, and that is good. The extra point, the conversion is good, and that's going to make our score now Beaverton 19, Valley nothing.
0.
And Joe, what you're talking about is culture.
Yep.
Coaches talk about a culture of winning and a culture of attitude. And you develop that at the low level and work it all the way up to the top, you're going to have success all the way.
Absolutely.
19-0. Joe mentioned earlier that Beaverton had given up 17 points all season long in 7 games, actually in 8 games because they had a shutout in their playoff match. We
saw great pressure there by Antoniuk on that kickoff. Number 4 came in for the Rams. He wasn't able to get possession, but he got into a position to swat that ball back towards his team. They recovered, and now they're trying to create some offense of their own.
I think what Steve was asking you, when it's kicked off, does it have to travel minimum distance?
Yeah, it's got 10 meters. We have the dashed line on either side of midfield here. All kickoffs have to go past that for the kicking team to play it. The receiving team can play it at any point.
Sort of like the rules in American football.
Right, and if it goes, if it does not go 10 and it's not played, the receiving team gets that ball with a scrum at midfield. Oh, there's a mess of the ball here. All right, so we saw the initial ball carrier from Beaverton knock that ball forward. The Rams player recovered it forward as well. So we have a scrum. The Rams are going to maintain possession.
Thanks for joining us. If you're wondering about these two teams looking alike, they do. Beaverton, black uniforms, orange lettering. Valley, black uniforms, red lettering. They look alike. Beaverton moving from our right to our left. They lead in this game 19-0.
And unlike other sports, a surprising number of these kids are friends. Both teams have representatives on the Oregon Redhawks, which is an all-star team for our state that plays against other all-star teams in a tournament called the Great Northwest Challenge. That's coming up here in just over a month. And there's, I believe, teams from 6 other western states, I think maybe 2 from California, northern and southern California. But some of these guys play representative ball together. And if seeing this game so far, it's obvious these teams would be well represented on an all-star team. But they'll play each other in preseason matches, and unfortunately, this is the playoffs is the one time. Oh, good throw in.
Hey, you're fine, Bruno. Get in there.
Some speed up that side that time by Beaverton.
Yeah, and now it's pushing back the other way. Great big counter ruck by the defense. They're trying to pressure this ball, and it's loose out back. Let's see if Beaverton can maintain possession. There's a lot of pressure. It's too bad we weren't in the skyboxes for today's game. We'd have a little bit better a view of the field. We're getting some obstruction from the teams on the sideline.
Play right in front of us, and that's Valley Rams right in front of us.
Oh, we got a big run here. Enzo Steiner slipping through.
Beaverton with the ball back. Across
Cops.
midfield.
Oh,
Dropped the ball.
Look on. Yeah, you mentioned the culture of the Beaverton teams. Rugby Oregon itself sponsors a very strong culture of camaraderie. After a regular season match, teams don't just shake hands and walk off. Every match, there is a social meal. The home team prepares a meal for both teams, and from best teams, the biggest blowouts, you see kids sitting with each other, different colored uniforms. Maybe they're having pizza or hot dogs or burgers, and you just spent 70 minutes trying to knock the stuffing out of someone, and then you're going to share a Coke and a smile. Everyone's happy. And that's halftime.
All right, halftime here at Western Oregon University. This is the boys club championship. Our score, the Beaverton Barbarians 19, the Valley Rams nothing.
That seemed to be a faster 35 than our first half.
It seemed, didn't it? Comments, Joe, about the first half play.
I think we definitely see the Beaverton strategy isn't just strong defense, it's keeping the ball away from their opponents. It's impressive how much of the possession and territory they've dominated in this game. It shows on the scoreboard. And that's not to say that Valley is just rolling over and getting abused on this. They're playing hard. The game plan and the structure is clearly there. They just haven't found that one thing yet to cut through the Beaverton armor.
Are shutouts unusual in rugby?
It's about the same as football. It happens every so often. A shutout in a match like this, I would say, yeah. I mean, these are the two best teams, and not just barely the two best teams. Two undefeated teams, two teams that dominated play throughout the season. We're really seeing what the difference is.
Go ahead.
Honestly, it seems to be athleticism right now. It's not a game plan. It's no strategy. There's no trickery being seen in any of this. This is athleticism and taking advantage of the opportunities that are given to you.
All right, this match is brought to you by the Oregon Pioneer Rugby Club, a proud member of Rugby Oregon. Rugby Oregon offers year-round rugby leagues for girls and boys from third grade through high school. Find out more about one of the newest Olympic sports at rugbyoregon.com. We're here at halftime. Our score, Beaverton Barbarians 19, Valley Rams nothing. Obviously the Rams have to get back in this game. They've got to score. They're already down 19. They have to get some offense going, and so far they really haven't had much offensive prowess going.
The contest at the breakdowns has been so fierce from both teams. It's really been hard for them to put together very many phases in a row. We haven't seen a lot of continuity in play. We have seen is a lot of penalties. The game's being stopped. We're getting kicks out of bounds. Scrums and lineouts have really been the defining aspect of this first half rather than open play and style.
All right, both teams still talking. The Beaverton Barbarians back out on the field as we get ready for the start of the second half. The Valley Rams still talking amongst themselves.
I want to make sure we're at halftime. I got a couple seconds here. I have to say hello to my favorite rugby player in the world. That would be my wife, Mindy Alvarez. We met playing this game almost 20 years ago. 20 years ago this fall. We met through this game without rugby. Never would have met that woman, and my life has been infinitely better since. Got that out of the way. Hi, kids. Let's get back to business. Checked all the boxes.
You're going to be a hero at home.
Oh, maybe.
Your kids play rugby?
Not yet. I have a daughter in fifth grade who's already talking about it. Her and her friends are talking about it. My son often practices with our high school boys. He's only 9 years old. He started out this season, he was only 8, but he'll go in there and run drills with them, and he's mouthy. He talks.
All right, going to start the second half now. They've switched sides, so this will be Valley Rams moving from our right to our left.
Oh, Valley, there we go again. That's an outstanding kickoff kick. At this level, you don't typically see high schoolers being able to put the ball up in the air like Thorson has, really giving his team an opportunity to contest for that ball. We've seen so far they've kicked off 3 times with that high short kick. They've maintained possession all 3 times. There's one aspect of the game that Valley is definitely ahead on. Maybe they should try more kicking in the open field, though.
And you can't advance the ball by kicking.
We're going to have a penalty there. Looks like one of the Beaverton players came in from an offsides position into that ruck, came in from the side. I know Valley's behind by quite a bit. I am a little surprised given where that penalty was. Why not take those 3 points? You have them in your pocket. You can play on from there.
Especially when you don't have any points.
Right. My coaching philosophy has always been never leave points on the field. If you have an opportunity to get those 3, regardless of the scenario, you take them because you never know when you're going to need them.
Exactly. 19-0 our score. I'm Dave Hall along with Joe Alvarez.
All right. The referee, Peter Tuck, has had a good long talk with Daniel Batrunga. Oh, man. I'm butchering a name. The captain, number 7 for Beaverton, had a talk with them. He wanted him to talk to his teammates about something here. Oh.
I think that's Daniel Buttaruga.
Buttaruga. There you go. And another penalty against Beaverton here looks like it's coming up. Oh, he's calling the captain over again. Would not be surprised to see a card here then.
Yellow card would force the team to play without a player, down 1 man for 10 minutes. $19-0 our score. Beaverton leads. That was the score at halftime. We're just underway in the second half.
And he's walking off the field. Yeah, here comes it.
There's
the yellow card.
So when
I'm not sure which number that was. I think it's a front row player, and this may cause more changes. They have to have enough players in the scrum. They may have to pull another player off and replace him just to have even numbers. And it is, it is their Enzo Steiner, their hooker. They'll have to replace him and pull off one of their speedy backs. So this is sort of a double punishment, if you will.
Not only does he have to spend 10 minutes off the field and he's sitting in a chair by the red flag in front of us, but he also can't be in the scrum, and so they have to pull a defender back up forward into the scrum.
And we have another call.
So Beaverton leading by 19, now down a man for 10 minutes. A yellow card issued by the referee.
So it's going to be interesting to see here what the Rams are going to decide to do. Are they going to go take some points? They have a man advantage right now. Maybe grab some points and then start this process over again while they have the advantage. But again, referee having a good long talk with the Beaverton captain, and so as far as the second half has been a lot of stoppages. All these referee chats or stopped time. And here we go again. And the Rams are going to go. They want those big points. They're looking for 5, hopefully 7 out of this.
Come on for the ball! No!
Well, I think what we're seeing now is that not only is Beaverton really good with the ball, they're good on defense. They've been getting in position, and there's great line speed. When it's time for that defense to move up, they move up flat, they move up quick, and they're making those tackles. The Rams are keeping possession here, but they have not been gaining a lot of territory here. Oh, and Mr. Tuck gets tied up in there.
When you're down a player, what's the key principle on defense?
Well, it helps that there's so many players on your team. 14. You got to keep spread out just a little bit more. Basically what happens is each player is going to be responsible for a little bit more space on the field. You're still going to want to try to cover the field from sideline to sideline. Only now the expectations of you may be extended a yard on either direction. And hopefully the offense here is hoping to pull a gap large enough with that missing player to be able to send some through it and really exploit it.
Rugby has a lot of the principles of other sports. And you mentioned...
Oh, he's not held. He does not have to do anything with that ball, and dots it down. It's Isaac Tarrant with a really good run, and the self-awareness of he got tripped up. That's not a full tackle, so he didn't have to release the ball or wait for a contest. He was able to get right back up on his feet, keep moving down the field, and he had the space. Once he broke through, even when he was tripped up, he found space. And they got their points.
5 points on the try for Valley Rams. Now the conversion attempt coming up.
Yeah, like I'd said before, they'd passed up 2-3 opportunities to kick for points. They really wanted this try. They felt they needed it, and they got rewarded. Let's see if they can convert.
All right, kicking off the tee. That is number 20. Is that Sullivan Barron?
That is absolutely not Sullivan Barron, because
Okay.
I know him.
Okay, well, let's have a different number 20 then. But the conversion attempt coming up. There's the kick, and it's going to be wide left. So our score now, Beaverton Barbarians 19, the Valley Rams 5.
Yeah, both of the rosters I'm looking at have that as Sullivan Barron. That happens to be one boy that I know. That ain't him.
All right. Only the 4th try that Beaverton has given up all season long.
Yep.
There's the kick, a high kick.
Oh, he's got some space here. Oh, one guy to beat. He lost the ball. I think that was a forward pass before it went out of bounds. We're either going to get a line out or a scrum, depending on the ref's call here.
$19-5 our score. Beaverton leads Valley.
And we definitely, we're right here behind the Valley bench, and they are live maybe for the first time of this match. They are up, everyone standing. They're engaged in this. That was a real big run by them on the outside of the far side. They're trying to make a match of this. They will not go into the night quietly. And we got another stoppage of play here. Mr. Tuck having a talk to his front rows before this scrum gets started up again. Beaverton kicking away. They're still a man down, probably for another 5 minutes.
Valley picked up. You can hear the fans around us yelling forward.
Yeah, they felt that long pass there was a forward pass there. They're just, there's one ref, there's a big field. They're just trying to help him out, I think.
I'm suspecting, Joe, that you have a long history with the referees.
I used to talk a lot on the sidelines as a coach. Not anymore. I have utmost respect. We have wonderful referees at Rugby Oregon at every level, and they deserve every bit of respect they get. They work hard. They train very hard to get where they are. And Mr. Tuck here is one of our most experienced top referees. Whatever he says goes.
You fulfilled your quota. You said something to your wife at halftime. You praised the referees. Now you can be okay.
Yeah. My boss, Jen Heinrich, will be very happy about that. All right, we can make one. Sullivan Barron is 23.
Okay.
For the Rams. We still don't know who 20 is.
We're waiting for play to resume here. There it does.
That was a thumping tackle by the Beaverton number 4. Oh, a little tap. They're trying to get to some space. Oh, good. Great chase. We see number 12, Colton Sidoris, who's using his soccer skills there with that loose ball. You can kick that down the field soccer style if you want.
Great kicks that time. Valley advanced the ball. There's a kick.
The Beaverton says, let's put you right back where you started. And we begin again. Oh, it's great coverage there by the Beaverton wing. He just gobbled him up, but the referee's whistle again. Looks like he had a collar grabbed on that tackle. That constitutes a high, a dangerous tackle.
What you call in football a horse collar tackle.
Yeah. And again, we've seen throughout the day, any call that gets into that dangerous play area, the refs are going to call it, and they're going to call it very strictly. And we have the assistant referee coming out on the field calling for a stoppage of play.
Well, we got stoppage. I want to remind you this match is brought to you by the Oregon Pioneer Rugby Club, a proud member of Rugby Oregon. Rugby Oregon offers a summer 7-a-side rugby competition for high school students. Competition takes place over 4 Saturdays in July. Register today at rugbyoregon.com.
Those summer sevens are just incredibly fun events. Basically, all the teams are gathering up, boys and girls. They're playing on one field, so all the players are just sort of intermingling. There's a little bit more social aspect to the day. It's a good opportunity for you to get to know and create relationships outside of your own school. it's definitely one of the more fun activities that kids put on their calendars for every year. Very popular.
There's a scrum set up and a whistle.
And again, I think that festival style of the Summer Sevens season is sort of encouraged. It's that culture of camaraderie that Rugby Oregon really fosters. Now Beaverton's got this ball out of the scrum, and they're on the charge again.
This is our second game today. The first game was a win in the girls' action, was a win for Lynn Benton, Lady Lions 39, the Valley Panthers 35.
Penalty against the Rams here, and it looks like Beaverton's going to try to kick this ball down the field, gain some territory, and take their chances at the line-out throw.
There's the kick.
And that's a good kick. They gained about 15 yards off of that, and we'll see. I've noticed both of these teams are doing little things really well. We see really good form and contest in the scrums. The lineouts here for both sides have, for the most part, been very crisp. They're getting that ball in quick and getting it out to the backs as quickly as possible, trying to use the space that's given to them.
Now, Joe, the Valley's down 19-5. They're going to have to put together some scoring quickly.
Yeah, they don't have possession of the ball right now. They're buried well past midfield. It's going to be tough for them to generate, but you get a turnover like that at a line out, and suddenly you're pushing the defense on their back foot. You've got something going. I think we're seeing a definite strategy being used here by the Rams. They're seeing so much speed and pressure coming up from the Beaverton defense throughout the first half. Looks like Coach De Silva has made a decision. We're gonna try to put that ball in the space behind them, try to create our own opportunities that way. And so far, I think it's been successful. Now this penalty's right at midfield. It'd be a tough kick to get it out of bounds, especially if you're not 100% confident in your line out. So it looks like they're going to run this ball. There's the kick, passed out wide to the big number 8. Big number 8 found a big hole, and he's taking about 20 yards down the field.
Here come the Barbarians back.
And then another whistle.
You have to say the Barbarians have played very little of the second half here in the Valley end.
Yeah, not too much. They've dominated the territory in the first half. It's been much more even so far in the second. I think we missed it a minute or two ago. The exiled player has been allowed back on the field, so we are at 15 against 15.
Back at full strength, 15 on each side, the 10-minute penalty up to Beaverton for the yellow card. Here comes Beaverton on a breakaway.
Oh, Murray found a little hole.
What was that, about a 70-yard run?
Yeah, he found just a little seam in the defense right there at the side of that breakdown and just exploded through it. And he had enough that Noah could catch him. It's a great run by the scrum half, Murray.
5-point try makes our score 24-5, Beaverton. Waiting for the conversion. This match is brought to you by Oregon Pioneer Rugby Club, a proud member of Rugby Oregon. Rugby Oregon offers summer camps for students in grades 3 to 8. Players will learn new skills, play games, and have a lot of fun. Register today at rugbyoregon.com.
So we'll add 2 onto that, so we're at 26-5.
Kickoff coming up.
So it looks like another scrum advantage here at midfield going to Beaverton. This is the second of 4 matches you have today, Dave?
4. The 2 club championships, the 2 varsity championships.
Yep. I think coming up next at 1:30 is the girls' club championships, where undefeated Grant will go against Beaverton. Beaverton has 1 loss on the year to Grant.
Okay.
I don't know, watching the pace of this game and the number of stoppages we've had sort of eating up the clock, it's going to be very tough for Valley to come back in this match. It's going to be even tougher if
And there's another score for Beaverton.
Another score for Murray with the back-to-back tries. I think that brace for him may seal the deal. The clock is getting low. I don't see the fat lady, but she's warming up her voice for sure. Got Griffin Nathman with this conversion kick is good, and that's going to push this score to 33-5, Dave.
All right, 33-5, Beaverton leads. We'll have a kick here. It was 19-0 at halftime. Beaverton has outscored Valley 14-5 here in the second half.
That's been 2 real quick scores here for what's been a really well-contested second half.
Both of them by the same player and both of them on breakaways.
Yep.
There's the kick, a high kick.
That was just an outstanding kick, an outstanding chase, outstanding reception. That was textbook, what you want to see off of a contested kickoff. Pete Carroll, take a look at this video. Maybe you guys can try this in your season this summer. I mentioned Pete Carroll. The Seahawks are actually big fans of rugby. They've known to brought in some consultants to help keep the tackles safe, doing some exercises to bring in more rugby-style tackling to the game, and they call it keeping the head out of the tackle.
Joe, you mentioned to me earlier that Dr. James Naismith, the inventor of basketball, was involved in rugby before inventing basketball.
The legend is that he did it to create a game for his boys to play during the off-season indoors. And another whistle.
Beaverton with a 33-5 lead.
Looks like the call here is obstruction. We had a player blocking a defender. There's no blocking in the game allowed. If you cross behind one of your teammates and using them to shield you from a tackle, that's going to end up in a penalty. Same if you just come in and throw a block, which every once in a while you get a lot of kids that have football backgrounds. They forget what they're doing, and you'll see an open field block.
All right, that kick goes out of play.
And it looks like Valley's got the line-out feed here.
Ball in.
Drive him!
Oh, I thought I heard a whistle. That must have been from one of the other fields going on. There is a frantic contest for the ball here. Valley's maintaining possession, but they're just getting pushed back.
Valley is getting pushed back on the plays.
Yeah, Dave, you can really see that even on offense or defense, Beaverton's game plan is pressure.
Valley kicks the ball. Fielded Beaverton.
Good tackle by Sullivan Barron from the Rams. Cleared out a good 8 yards. Oh, now they got some space coming in. Space turning into points.
Beaverton. Barbarians at the gate, and they scored. That try makes the score 38-5.
Well, I guess you could say that the Barbarians have sacked Rome at this point.
Absolutely. My excuse is I was a history major in college.
I'm a social studies teacher,
Oh,
so.
see, there we go. Conversion coming up here. Oh, and pulled it left.
Well, luckily they have a 33-point buffer, so those 2 points will not go longed for. It looks like we're under 5 minutes if I see that signal from the referee correctly.
Right in front of the crossbar that time and just hooked it to the left, so our score remains 38-5. Beaverton leads.
Of course, I'm not sure if that signal is 4 minutes or 40 seconds based on what we saw earlier in the day.
There's a high kick.
The scoring hasn't quite gone the Rams' way, but I mean, you can always point out there's at least this one aspect of their game. Their kickoffs have been worked exactly how they've wanted them. They've either won possession or seriously challenged at every kickoff. We have another knock on the Barbarians, and we're going to have another scrum.
All right, scrum right in front of us. 38-5 our score. Beaverton Barbarians lead the Valley Rams.
Despite the score, this has definitely been a hard-fought match, well played by both teams. There are a lot of tired boys in either set of jerseys. They're certainly going to be thankful to run over to the sponsored Gatorade tables and grab a good drink of all right, Mr. Tuck does not think that was a good scrum, so he's going to have him stop, reset. He wants to see that north-south type push. He doesn't want them turning the scrum around at any point. Again, I think mostly these are the type of rules that are set up for these young athletes to have the safe environment to develop skills.
Come on, Alan. Roll out, Alan. Roll out. There you go.
There's the kick.
The high ball. And that was Longy. He was the kicker. High kick, like you said, followed through. He nailed that receiver, but it looks like he may have gotten there just a smidge too soon. There's a penalty there against Beaverton. And we have someone on the field.
I have a player down and up, so mass substitutions coming in for Beaverton. 5 players in for substitutes.
I actually think that is Longy. That's the player that made that tackle. Sometimes you have a brick and a window, and sometimes you have 2 bricks. I think that was 2 bricks.
Thank you for the physics lesson.
But look, he's already recovered. He's not even going off the field.
Win that rush. There you go. Move it. Discipline now. Go, Nettie!
Oh, we got another penalty against Beaverton. How quickly are the Rams going to move? They're going to try to go as quickly as possible.
We're nearing the end of this game, 38-5 our score. Beaverton Barbarians lead the Valley Rams.
I think we're seeing some tired body mistakes here. A lot of dropped balls, a lot of knock-ons. Kids are getting tired. I think the entire Beaverton defense just got tired from Waller's run, cutting through the field there a moment ago.
All right, play resumes.
Oh,
There's a nice breakaway, and that's going to result in a try.
Odin Thorson, he set that up with a fake pass. They got the support players on the outside. He did a dummy pass that pulled the defender over. Who was overplaying him. And he took that hole that was left in front of him all the way down for a try.
38-10 now our score with a conversion coming up. That was Odin Thorson.
Odin Thorson. There's two Nordic gods listed in that boy's name.
Yes, there is.
Shouldn't it be Thor Odinson, though, correct?
There's the kick, and that's going to be left.
Yep, just pushes it off.
And there's the whistle. That's the end of the game. This game is over here at Western Oregon
and
University.
We see some, there was no drama in it, but look at these boys. They are ecstatic. They knew they were up throughout this whole match. Still, the thrill of that final whistle, the thrill of becoming a champion is something these boys are going to treasure today. And, hopefully throughout their lives, some of them will have future rugby careers. A lot of juniors and sophomores on this roster will play some more. But God bless them all. They're happy. Everyone's fairly healthy after today. It's been a great, great match.
All right, our score here, we're at Western Oregon University. This is the Boys Open Championship. It's won by the Beaverton Barbarians, 38, the Valley Rams, 10. The Barbarians scored 19 points in each half, exactly the same, and the Rams got all 10 of their points in the second half. So, final comments about the game, Joe?
I think there wasn't a lot of surprises here. Beaverton came in. We talked about it earlier in the match. They have dominating defense. They use that by not only putting good pressure and hard hits on defense, but they also strangle away possession. That first half, they dominated possession on offense. The Rams had no opportunity to score when you can't touch the ball. So using pressure both on offense and defense combined with just amazing athleticism, they were sort of an overwhelming force today. Again, these were two undefeated teams. We didn't know exactly what to expect out of it, but as the game wore on, it became very clear that the physical athleticism that Beaverton possessed throughout the lineup really made the big difference in the game today.
All right, this match has been brought to you by the Oregon Pioneer Rugby Club, a proud member of Rugby Oregon. Rugby Oregon offers year-round rugby leagues for girls and boys from third grade through high school. Find out more about the newest Olympic sport at rugbyoregon.com. I want to thank the people here at Western Oregon, also the teams, the Beaverton Barbarians, the Valley Rams, for their assistance in getting this game going for you. I want to thank our crew today, Steve Roberts on the camera, Maddie Connolly on the camera, both of them working the camera, Jim Thompson, our producer, engineer, wizard of the wires, whatever he does, it's all there in front of us. And, of course, my broadcast partner today, Joe Alvarez. And, Joe, Great working with you, and thanks for the technical assistance because you really made the game come alive for us.
I thank you very much. You've been a great partner. If I have one final words going off of your little advertisement for some of our youth programs, I got to paraphrase the great Willie Nelson. Mamas, do let your babies grow up to play rugby.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, again, our final score here from Western Oregon University in the Boys Open Club Championship. It is the Beaverton Barbarians 38, the Valley Rams 10. I'm Dave Hall. Stick around. We'll have another match coming up for you at 1:30. Good afternoon, everybody.